In the Pits is partnered with QBR. Founded in 2021 and based here in Texas, QBR seeks to elevate the cannabinoid industry to a new standard of professionalism and education, while also providing the highest quality product. Whether you are seeking to heal and recover from the toll that paintball puts on the mind and body, or even looking for investment opportunities through adult vending machines, QBR has the solution for you. Head to QBRofficial.com to browse their selection. QBR, they don't sell broccoli. In the Pits is partnered with 71 Designs, owned and operated by veteran Wade Martin, and partnered with fellow Texas brand Compete. 71 Designs can take your ideas for soft goods, merchandise, and casual wear and make them a reality. Message 71 Designs on Facebook or Instagram to get started today. In the Pits is partnered with Mariachi Águilas de Oro. Based in Austin and servicing the surrounding areas, these Golden Eagles will bring life to any event you are having, from birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, corporate events, or even a simple performance to enjoy. Guillermo Padilla, one of their trumpet players, is also a member of the Texas paintball scene. Visit them on Facebook and Instagram to check out some of their past performances, or give them a call to book them for your event today. In the Pits is partnered with Hydra. Designed by players for players, you can outfit yourself in Hydra gear from head to toe. Have confidence that when you make a purchase from Hydra, you are purchasing a well-tested and well-thought-out product, trusted by several top teams, including first-place semi-pro team PaintballFit.com. I personally recommend their Hydra Black knee pads. Purchases over $100 receive free shipping. Head to hydra.fit to browse their selection and discover the Hydra mentality. In the Pits is partnered with XTPL Events. The Extreme Tournament Paintball League is a series put on by the Lukow family of Paintball Fit fame that gives the opportunity for players to learn and grow together as a team. 3-man, Challengers and Champions X-Ball, Draft Mech X-Ball, and even Youth 3v3. There's something for everyone at XTPL. Not to mention prize tosses, raffles, and the infamous paintball munching contest. Events happen throughout the year, and the prizes never disappoint. Sign up for an XTPL event today on PB Leagues. In the Pits is partnered with TexanHemp.com, locally shipped cannabis seeds. In a world where saving time means making money, TexanHemp.com, a local cannabis seed bank owned and operated by local Texas pro player Jared Sherman, is making waves by becoming the go-to source for all cannabis genetics in Texas. Carrying a large assortment of cannabis cultivars, including Texas-approved varieties for use in the Texas Hemp Program, high THCA seeds for novelty use, as well as premium genetics bred for solventless extraction, TexanHemp.com has the ability to satisfy even the most sophisticated collectors. Head to TexanHemp.com and use code INTHEPITS for 10% off of your orders. In the Pits is partnered with Podrunners Union. Podrunners Union breaking news. Super limited Union Tech tees and, for the first time, Fiesta medals are available online at podrunnersunion.org. Use offer code PITS for 10% off of your order. Stealing pods for undeserving teams. It's a living. In the Pits is partnered with Compete. Compete is a Texas-based brand by Jell Stewart of professional team AC Diesel that provides custom jerseys, pants, headbands, straps, tech shirts, and any other soft goods to help individuals and teams compete at the highest level. Support Texas Paintball and message Compete on Facebook or Instagram and mention In the Pits Podcast for 10% off your entire order. In the Pits is partnered with BEM Wraps. Behind every mask is a unique and creative player. Tap into it when you order your next custom headpiece. Their Build-A-Band lets you communicate with them one-on-one to make your order just the way you want, all the way down to the color of the stitch. Check out their Instagram at BEM Wraps for drops and build videos of them working on orders. They offer very competitive pricing, so reach out today to get started on your own one-of-a-kind headpiece. In the Pits is partnered with Get Dat Shot. Get Dat Shot is now accepting bookings for the upcoming NXL Mid-Atlantic Major and will also be offering drone footage for the first time. Head to GetDat_shot on Facebook or Instagram to secure your media coverage today. In the Pits is partnered with Paintball Kumite. Paintball Kumite is a program designed by Colt Roberts of professional team San Antonio X Factor to take paintball players of all ages, experience levels, and skill groups and mold them into champions. The program breaks the game down into small, easy-to-learn sessions designed to help you master the fundamentals so that you can elevate your game. Newcomers to the program get a free 1-hour introductory class when mentioning In the Pits. To sign up for a class, message at Paintball Kumite on Instagram. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 102 of In the Pits Paintball Podcast. This podcast is focused on everything that has to do with the paintball scene here in Texas, from professional players and teams to new divisional programs, local tournament series, field owners, Texas-based brands, even photographers and videographers. Every week, we'll have a short and sweet episode with a new topic and new special guest. I'm Christian Dallas Smith. I'm a player for the Texas Titans, and this episode we're going in the pits with Brandon and Meagan Ortega, owners of BEM Wraps. How are you both doing this evening?
Doing good. We're fresh off of an all-star T-ball game. We're back home. Just made it back in time, but we're good. Surviving.
Surviving. What you were saying? How hot was it at that T-ball game? Like triple digits for sure. Or?
Yeah, high like 108 at one point today. It was, and the wind was going crazy, so it kind of blew it, cooled it down a little bit. But yeah, it was a hot one.
That's terrible. I do not envy. I'm not excited for this summer at all. I know how like we're all kind of wary that it's going to be one of the hottest ones yet, and yeah, it's not going to be fun. Yeah, something about Texas weather is like it's especially cursed this year with like both the ICPL and the NXL having like the worst mud bowl that we've seen in years, and now it's
it's just hot mess. That's what it is. It's a hot mess.
Mm-hmm. Yep, hot and messy. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So this question is actually going to be for both of you. It's brought to us by XTPL Events. So for those listening that maybe don't know about you both, how long have you been involved in the Texas paintball scene?
Me and my buddy Hector Garza got into it high school. This is what I think back 2009. We were playing around the woods and just for fun and stuff like that. And there was a local field in the valley, Conway Paintball, that brought their field, their airball field, to our fairgrounds in Rio Grande City and hosted like a speedball tournament, like just a straight up 5-on-5, 5-man speedball tournament. This was like the first time we ever played like with a team. We had a buddy that had a Spider, and I think Hector had a Spider ACS, and I just got a Tippmann 98 with an E-grip. And we hyped up that one event so much. We watched a bunch of videos, stuff like that, studied so much. We ended up getting second place in that.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. It was there was a lot of 1v1 since there was some new teams, like there was a lot of new players, but there were at least two teams that came down to come like put on a show, showcase the game and stuff like that. So it was a ton of fun, and it hooked us like so hard. And since then we just kept playing. But yeah, that was the start for sure for me and my friend.
Awesome. Meagan, when did you get dragged into this?
Oh, when I met him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never did I even know paintball existed until this guy walked into my life. So
yeah, we played high school golf and we met there. And I told her, I was like, yeah, I play like I think I had already gone to Galveston, PSP. I was doing PSP and stuff like that.
After prom.
Oh yeah.
In high school, we got to Galveston paintball event.
No,
where would we?
That was AXBL. We went to X Factor. So we went. We had my senior prom. Stayed at our house, and in the morning, like before the sun came up, headed to X Factor to go play AXBL, and that was with the first NK Mafia. That was Nemesis and Clutch. So I got to play with Brandon Linaldi there, and a lot of Vic Gubarca. So that was like my first. I think it was a D3 event or something like that.
Oh man!
And yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was my prom date.
Oh man, I remember. Do y'all know Adon?
Adon, what's his last name?
Guetta, AFG filming.
Yes, yeah, of course.
Yeah, he his first year on the Titans. I remember he was all like apologetic that he was gonna miss the layout practice the week before USXBL. He's like, yeah, sorry guys, it's my prom, so I'm gonna not be at practice.
Yeah. No, I remember like literally printing out a logo and sticking it on a dry fit and heading out there. It was kind of funny, but it was a good experience for sure, man. It was great times out there.
Oh yeah, for sure. So what are the teams that you've played for or been associated with over the years?
So me and my friends started some like local teams there in Rio. Then we started playing where the Valley scene is. Back then, I jumped on a team called Attrition. It was with some OG guys. We were the young kids on the team. We jumped on just before PSP Galveston, and that was that first Mud Bowl. That luckily it wasn't bad on our day. But that's when I already knew of Clutch and Brandon Linaldi and his family basically that plays. I got to hang out with them at the event and really show them that like I wanted to take this a little bit more seriously and stuff. So uh, after that, I kind of played around with Clutch. We tried to get serious, and that's when Brandon tried out around the time when Brandon tried out for X Factor and was doing the uh, that show,
Mhm.
the roster. That's when he was doing the roster, and then like I said, we had done that first Nemesis Clutch camp, and then made a basically like a big Nemesis camp. Um, so it was basically that one group all the way through, and then I basically stepped away for about like 9 years.
It was a while.
And then I guess back 2020, I came back in and started playing, getting back into the local scene here in the valley. Just got to jump around and stuff like that. I got to play with Adrenaline. I don't get to play that much anymore, but it was also one more team. Oh, well, Rampage, and now trying to get back in. So, but we are taking a little break and focusing on the headband stuff too. So, in due time, we'll
Hey,
get
well,
back out there.
it's cool that you're still finding a way to stay involved with the community, even with
Yeah,
3 little ones running around right now. And
find ways.
sure. So yeah, we got some love in the chat here. Steven Enslow is in here. Rick Hall. He says, yeah, garbage crew. Like some emoji there.
Yeah, Garbage Crew got me back in. That's right. It was that was funny because we Hector's like, hey dude, there's a 3-man if you want to jump in. And I was like the fourth guy. And I hadn't even played since it had been 9 years. Like I hadn't even picked up a gun, nothing. And I bought an axe like for $180, and that's my go-to gun. Like
Mhm.
I'll shoot an OG axe all day, every day. For some reason, at every tournament, like I've had high-end guns, Luxes, everything, but I always come back to an axe. I can tune it really well. But I don't know if I had a beginner's luck event or something coming back in, but it was a pretty good event, and we did pretty good. And it's just another way that paintball hooks you back in, man. It gives you a little taste of like some really good paintball action,
Oh,
and you're
definitely.
hooked.
Definitely. So yeah, this next question is brought to us by QBRofficial.com, which is QR codes up on the overlay here. So go check that out. So what was it that got you into paintball to begin with?
Well, I let's see, in high school, I was in the drum line, pretty serious with it, and like I said, I started playing golf as well, and I think it was just something. Like I said, that field had come down, and my older brother and his friends went out to that field and played. And I think at the time, like there was a store that you can like give the guy your driver's license and pay a rental fee, and he'll give you like 10 spiders, 10 masks, and 10 CO2 tanks, and you can have them for the weekend. And just as long as you bring them back, I guess.
Hmm.
But I got to play a little bit there, and I'll be honest, like I was still that like scaredy cat dude, like the younger brother, like frozen out there, and it wasn't until that one event when I started playing with my friends, and something clicked, dude. Like I had never been so like aggressive in sports or so like in the zone. Something about the adrenaline rush, about paintball that like just I feel at home with, man. Like I don't know if it was growing up racing motocross or something, probably, but yeah, that I felt at home in paintball, well, especially speedball, because it was just go. And
Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, there's something about being in the moment, like with all that adrenaline and just like learning to like still be in control whenever the adrenaline is flowing through your
yeah,
body.
yeah,
And
something
that's
about it.
like, it's the first thing, like probably the very first thing that you have to learn whenever getting into paintball in general, not just like tournament play, but like even playing recreationally, is just being in control of your senses, like still being able to, like, with all the adrenaline coming in, you can still, you know, hear things around you. You can still see, you can still breathe and communicate. Like that's one of the first things. But like once you've learned to master that, you're like, oh, I'm actually doing this, and I, you know, what's next that I can accomplish.
Yeah, it was really funny because like that tournament, I guess, since there were so many, like they had refs and stuff like that, but it was like there's so many new players that they had to settle a lot of things with 1v1s, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna go do the first one, and then I got it right. And then we started doing better and better, and we kept advancing. They're like, yeah, no, go back out there, go do the 1v1 again, go do it again. I think we did like 4 one-on-ones, and I think the last one was for like the first and second of the tournament, and I lost that one probably. But during the games, like I saw the snake, and my dad's like, yeah, go that way, like go jump into that. They're doing this, go jump in there, and we're just like absorbing everything as we go. And there was a flag at the time, so like we were doing like trick plays with the flag, like pretending one of the guys to go and get it, and he didn't really get it, but like I ran like right after him to go get it and go hang it. And then my dad would literally stand on the side of their box, and I could see him through the net, and he'd be in between like a lane. He's like, just shoot here. He didn't know. He didn't know what we were doing. We were like, he's like, don't shoot at them. Just shoot right here in this, just right here. Just shoot right here. And we were shooting people off break, and he's like, yeah, do that again. And we're like, and now looking back, I was like, dude, we learned how to shoot lanes just like the day of, like,
oh man,
just by you know just trying it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we were just hooked, man. It was the perfect day, you know, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like it. And Hector's in the chat. He says, got to bring up when you, him, and Leo Lamas were all on the same team.
Yes, dude, and Victor. Yeah, we all played PSP Dallas. Ooh. We played PSP Dallas 5-man. Leo, Vic. I think he signed up with us, but then he ended up jumping on the D3 line or something like that. We had 2 lines, and yeah, we took over the 5-man line, and it was a we didn't get the results we wanted, but it was still real fun. We had one of those like the weekend before, like perfect days in practice, and it's a curse, right? Like,
oh yeah.
It's a curse. Like, oh my god, we didn't lose a single game. Like we were beating up on the higher line. Like they were like, what is going on? And just like running people down. We were just on freaking cloud 9, and then couldn't put it on the field. But you know, it was definitely a learning experience and a great experience, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, crazy how that works. Like you want to get beat badly in the practice before an event, and if you if you just mop the floor with everybody, then you're like, oh no,
you learned it. Like, you didn't learn anything,
right? Yeah, for sure. And it's cool to see, like, and Hector saying it in the chat how you've all come full circle nowadays. Like, you know, Hector's I think Balls Out won the series in Bunkerfest last year. Like Leo's going strong with us on the Titans, currently in first place in the NXL series, just won Dallas. And
Texas Demo, they're doing good too. See Brandon and Vic out there, man. It's so cool.
Oh yeah, and now you're killing it, giving you know, providing all this headgear, all this sweet custom headgear to everybody in Texas.
Yes, sir. So yeah, congrats to Hector on his newborn too. He just got a little one.
Oh yeah, congrats. Congrats, Hector. So
new daddy.
This next question is brought to us by Sasha of Podrunners Union. So BEM Wraps hit the scene in April of 2022. So what was the inspiration behind starting BEM Wraps, and what went into the choice of the name?
So Sandanas, actually. People might think Hormesis, but no, Sandanas. And actually it went back to when I was playing with Brandon, like in 2013 and 2012. We were looking for diamond cut mesh on the web, just looking for tree trunk and brown leaf stuff, because it was like, yeah, like my mother-in-law, she sews, she quilts, and has an amazing machine. My grandma made our Halloween costumes every year growing up, and so she sews too, and would, you know, so we always had that in the back of our head, like, oh yeah, you know, we could definitely like make this. So like pretty much like we could definitely do this. And I brought a headband to my mother-in-law, and she goes, yeah, sure, we can do this. And so we basically dissected one of the headbands that we had, and made a made a prototype and just kept going. And yeah, just didn't stop there. But,
There was about 15 tries.
Yeah.
It was like maybe 20 tries.
I still have them. I
Yeah, we
definitely
have
still have
all of
them.
them.
Yeah, like our first one didn't even have like a top stitch where like, you know, you had that like that top, you know, to seal it. It was just a you know piece of denim. But so yeah,
Trial and error.
trial and error, and a lot of trial and error, but just repetition, just doing it.
Mhm.
And so yeah, but it's definitely like I don't know. Hormesis came into the scene, and I love what they do. I really do. I really do. Um, and I was trying to, you know, telling your family members is like, yeah, it's a, you know, this headband goes for like $1,000, and you show them like, you know, a Dreamy or something like that, and they're like, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? And I know like regular price too. I mean, it's not ridiculous or anything. It's a, you know, the price is what it's set at, and of course the resale market is what it's at. But I felt definitely like there was a mid-range price item. I mean, I'll put the quality up against any headband, like
Mhm.
the way she sews and the way we put the detail and everything, the stitches, everything. Like the quality is definitely there, or actually better. I have a bunch of sandanas that I can quality check with, but no, it just felt right for us to price it where they're at right now, just because you know, for us, I'd feel better if we sold 10 headbands in a week at, you know, 30-35 bucks, put those out into the world than, you know, just the one, you know, for around, you know, getting the same kind of price. Just because I want to put headbands out there. I want everyone. So why not? You know, you want to have a little collection, right? Not just one headband. You want to change it up. You want a little closet basically that you can change up stuff. So, but yeah, the name.
I don't remember anymore.
Well, it's not hard to forget. So BEM is BEM, Brandon, Emmerich, and Meagan. And well, now Miles.
Now it's Miles.
Now baby Miles. So Brandon, me and my son Brandon share the same name. Emmerich has the E, and Meagan and Miles share the M. So there's our BEM, our family.
Oh, wow, it's really family business there. I love it. Because I
Yes,
wasn't
sir.
sure at first, because I know like in the pre-roll ad that plays before the podcast, like in the script that you sent me, I think the first words are like behind every mask, and I was like, oh, you
Yeah.
know, that's a cool acronym there.
I thought so too.
That's hers. That's hers. Well, yeah, because like in the inspiration, right? You know, like we're doing so many custom headbands, and we would help you, you know, put together. We want to like bring to life your imagination, your whatever you want. So like, yeah, it's in your head. It's, you know, it's in your inspiration. So like behind every mask, and also like on the field too. Like that's be creative on the field. Be creative with your gear. That's paintball. You know, you have to be. That's how you have to be on the field.
Yeah, definitely. I think since I think the obviously the exclamation point being like Hermesis breaking into the scene, but before that, and I've said this on a bunch of other episodes, like the paintball scene seemed to be all about the like team package, black on black. Everybody's wearing the, you know, the stock black package with their team package, like the stock black Pro Flex, stock black jersey, pants, and
Yeah, and it's clean. It's clean, but yeah, you want to.
yeah, you got to get a little bit of personality in there. I mean, like for a game called Paintball, you don't want it to be all bland and colorless, right?
Exactly.
So this next question is going to be for each of you separately. We'll start with Meagan on this one. So and this one is brought to you by you guys. BEM Wraps is sponsoring this question. So what are each of your roles in operating BEM Wraps? So Meagan, let's start with you.
Ooh, ideas. Sometimes we're just like sitting down at night and are just like, you know what? I think this would be a really good idea. And I think that I haven't seen this before. And I really think that some people would like this. So for example, we just did the Naruto bands.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know, I just like, I feel like we need some representation of like stuff that people actually like enjoy seeing. And Naruto is one of those favorites out there. I don't know. I kind of like to bring in different stuff, things that maybe like might not be thought about, but might want to be worn on the field, just because it's like a personality thing. You're dressing yourself. You're when somebody sees you that's like a first impression. Your headband is like a first impression. So like bringing that, like I want to make sure that everybody has that opportunity to like spread their first impression when they're seen on the paintball field, because like sometimes that can be hard when everybody's wearing the same things.
Mhm.
So like, oh my goodness, what an angry baby. But as far as that goes, I mean, we both come up with ideas, and then we've kind of have a system going where like Brandon does the cutting, because I will cut my fingers off if I'm allowed with a rotary cutter.
Efficiency.
It's yeah. So he's got a lot of callus built up already. So if that rotary cutter accidentally hits him, he's okay. Me not. Yeah, it's gotten me a few times. And then I just like to sew. I have like I'm very good at my sewing. I guess if we're going for efficiency in like a company, that's where I'm supposed to be. Like that's my spot.
It's like a game of tennis. I cut, she sews, she throws
And then I throw it back to him.
Next, and I throw it back to her. She top stitches, and boom, got a headband.
Sometimes we're just like super lame, and we'll time each other to see like how fast we can go. But yeah, and then just I don't know, what else do I do?
Hey, model the headbands.
Oh yeah, that's right. I like to put the headbands on for people to see, because like I feel like that's also important. Like I think that it's easy to see it on like a whiteboard or on a cutting mat, but like seeing it on an actual head is like helpful. And especially when you put the mask on, so you can see where the mask lies under or on top of the headband. So I think it's kind of cool. It's also like positivity, like like it's nice to kind of like it's nice to feel good in a headband. It's nice to feel good in a headband. So
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're for.
Awesome. So Brandon, so you do the cutting. What else do you do as far as the running the whole operation goes?
Well, I definitely bring like the lore of the headband stuff. Bringing up the bringing in the like insights of the community. I try to be as active as I can, as well, still being a dad, and everything. But for a while, I was able to like tune into the Spick and Span show and your podcast. I don't even think I missed one for like a long time, like a live and then everyone out there. I try to get in on the chats, get in on the community pages, Facebook, all the BSTs and everything. Find out what's really what hasn't been there, and try to bring something new, and I like she has ideas, and I try to help her like find out where those ideas could be like fit in. So yeah, and then obviously just the running the pages and stuff like that, and putting the sale posts and doing shipping and all that stuff. So but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. At for a long time, like that was like we wouldn't watch movies at night. We were just sitting,
like back and forth,
drinking
and sewing.
drinking and sewing. So, but yeah.
And that's I don't think very many people realize just how much work goes into running your own business, even if it's like a side project. It's definitely you have to think of everything, and I'm sure that there's a few people listening either live or maybe in the future when listening back to the recording. But yeah, do you have any, I guess, other words of advice for anyone who's maybe like looking to start their own business, whether it's in the paintball sphere or otherwise?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely look at the community. Like I said, try to get involved first. Try to find a hole, because like I was always, in the conversations, or like trying to find out like, how do we make the game better? How are we going to grow paintball? Like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? And I think with our Instagram, part of it was like, the build videos were really, at one point I was like, I think just the build videos might actually grab traction at one point. And more than the actual headbands itself is sometimes. So just content, you know what I mean? Like content. So that was like one side of like the paintball world that like I feel like has never really been seen on video and stuff like that. So that was one thing. But my dad does, you know, every side hustle you can, and I've always, since I was little, like been real entrepreneur, like and trying to do things, always trying to make money, you know, and see what I can do. I mean, we sold corn, we sold raspas, we sold
Burgers.
brisket burgers, and you know, because it's because my dad gave me that mentality. Why not? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, just why not? Just do it. Just freaking do it and try it out. And you know what? If it doesn't work, then you're right back where you started. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, of course, there's you know, like you might dump some money into some things, stuff like that, and there's risk there, but there's risk and reward, and just try to find what you're passionate about. Another thing was like head wraps and some headbands. I have a freaking dome. Like I have a really big head.
I hear you
Uh,
there.
yeah, dude. I mean, I wear a size 8 fitted. Like it's not okay. So head wraps, I wanted to make longer mesh and you know, longer headbands with longer tails because you know it just looked like I was putting on a bandana sometimes. And then so that was one thing in the customization that I wanted to like implement and make sure it was there. So it was a hole. You know, you try to find a hole in the thing that you're most passionate about that you can involve yourself with. So like I said, I can't play that much anymore. I can't go to events and stuff like that, but I can sure still be involved with the community and the game, you know, by providing, you know, products and stuff. So it is really cool. It's rewarding.
Yeah,
This and that.
absolutely. Yeah, just and the yeah, there is like some risk, some reward, especially with like the startup costs and all that. But like the reward of just like knowing that, hey, this is something that I'm not going to be wondering a what if about anymore. That's
Yeah,
like that's one of
we
the
did
big
it.
things.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Megan, do you have any words of advice for anyone out there that's looking to or maybe curious about getting into some side hustles or their own businesses?
Just not to be afraid, you know. Well, to not to be afraid, but also to respect the process.
Hmm.
Respect the process, because like it takes a while to like start off, and there's a lot of mistakes that are made at the beginning, and that's just like that's normal. That's super normal, and it's super like it can be discouraging, but just it's just part of the process. You just have to like have faith and keep going, you know. I mean, even then, we stopped for a period. Like we had the baby, and we stopped for a while.
Yeah. Basically since December we just started up again.
Yeah, and then you just start up again. It's like never. It's okay to like take causes for your health and for like, you know, for family, and just like there's no like scripted line you have to follow. You just have to go when you're ready to go. And
Yeah, like last year we did a wave like each week, and that was like a wave of
yeah, we
like
were busting out
15
like
headbands.
crazy.
Like
Oh man.
we were doing like a week, bro. Like it was, and then obviously it slowed down a little bit, and then it slowed down some more and stuff, and then we finally found a little niche thing with the freehand stuff. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a process to go through it all and go through like the self improvement and like getting better at your craft. Like, shoot, we're 2 weeks away from 2 years on the podcast, and I actually just went back to listen to like a first couple of episodes, like with Colt Roberts and Sasha and Carlos. Like,
yeah, we just had our at my work our meeting, our annual meeting that you know usually we travel for, and I was in San Antonio in my hotel listening to that Colt episode. And that's why I was like, oh yeah, I was like, and we just had that meeting like a few weeks ago. So I was like, yeah, I remembered your anniversary. So I was like, yeah, we've been there, man.
yeah, but it's also cool at the same time to be able to go back and look at where you started from.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure, dude.
So in the chat, let's see. Steven Enslow says, "Y'all do everything that you can to support local. All the Valley teams always feel the love when they're at events from BEM Wraps. They're always making posts and sharing content and rooting everyone on."
Dude, yeah, I love my 956 teams, man, and I support the Titans too. And I just yeah, I like I'm really here for the Texas scene in general, and I love it. But yeah, dude, like I'll get excited when I see one of the Valley teams out there, and I just want to see them do good, man. You know, and because I truly do believe that there's some great talent down here, and just going there on Sundays and seeing them play and all this stuff. I mean, like look at Demo, and majority of them from the valley, you know, and I got to see them from when I first started, so see them grow and stuff like that to where they're at now, and it's just been awesome. So like I said, it's full circle, man. It's cool, man. I remember seeing Steven when he first started too, man, with his green mohawk. I had a red mohawk, he had a green mohawk. I did it first, he did it second, and you know, whatever. But it's like, man, me and Steven, we always used to mess with each other back then, man.
I love it. Before we continue, I do want to mention for anyone who didn't see the stories on Facebook or on Instagram, y'all are going to be raffling a band off on this episode.
Yes, sir. Texas Camo. I don't know who you got in the chat. I need to write it down, and then we'll do a wheel.
Yeah, I'll keep track of it all. You don't have to worry about that.
Cool. Make sure you make a freaking like if you're in the chat too, if you're on there. And so you can help this page out too, man. I've always been a supporter of this podcast, man. I love it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, Steven, he says he forgot about the mohawk. No, I remember that mohawk, man. That was a good time for sure. He says he misses the Edinburgh Battleground days.
Yeah, dude, that's why I was like, when I got back into playing, dude, I was like, I had my gear set up the night before and everything. Like I was up at like 6:00 in the morning, ready to go out. And they're like, yeah, no, we'll be out there. And it was like 10 o'clock. I'm like, dude, where the heck is everybody? And they didn't start playing till like 11. I was like, dude, we were done by noon. Like, what's going on? It's like, it's hot down here, dude. We got to play early. But I think right now, yeah, the way they have it set up, it's a little bit later. I was just like, dude, it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a good time.
Definitely. So yeah, anybody who's wanting to enter the raffle, all you got to do is leave a like, leave a comment in the chat, and we'll get to it at the end of the show. So this next question is for Megan. So this one's brought to us by Mariachi Águilas de Oro. So have you always had these skills on the sewing and embroidery machines, or have you acquired these skills because of BEM Wraps?
My mom was a sewer, big time. Yeah. So I sewed whenever she taught me to. So I was pretty young. And I don't know. I took a sewing class in high school, which was like her sewing class because she taught at our high school. And I don't know. I don't know what the heck happened, but it just kind of came back into my life. And it's really been a lifesaver because kind of lost myself there for a little bit, you know, in momhood, and being able to do something that was like not so momhood-ish was really liberating. And I'm really like grateful that it's rekindled. The embroidery stuff I just started. It's really hard. Like you have to have like it's really hard. But I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of just following videos and like making a butt ton of mistakes and just kind of keeping on because like, yeah, the mistakes, you know, I think after after you've made so many, they don't kind of get to you anymore. You just kind of look into what's the solution. How do I fix this? And like, how do I make it better? And so, yeah, unfortunately, I knew how to sew because of my mom. And my mom has been like a lifesaver when it comes to like sewing machines and like giving advice on like what to do. And like if I run into a snag here and there, like she's like she's pretty good at her sewing. She knows her sewing machines are like, she's got her Bibles for every sewing machine. So that's fun and very fortunate. But yeah, no, the embroidery I just got into, but the sewing we've been doing for a while. The headband stuff, Brandon basically just came home one day and he was like, do you think we can make this? And I was like, yeah, I think we can. My mom was sitting right there and she just kind of was like, yeah, it looks like they're doing this and looks like they did this. And then she was just like, she like literally, I think like I said, we made like so many prototypes. It was just crazy. She was there for all of them.
Oh man. So have there any been, like, what were some of the, I guess, the tricks that you had to learn early on before you really started getting your processes down?
Classified. No.
No, not classified. Let's see. Asking for help is like one of the biggest things that like some people are afraid to do. You just got to do it. Like look up the videos, ask for help, like choosing the right threads. Brandon, the balloon is going to get caught in the fan. Sorry, we got some balloons. And I like my ceiling fans, so let's not balloonify them. Yeah, no, you know, it's like sewing is like a puzzle. Anything can be off. Like the littlest of things can be off and it'll mess up your whole sew. And so just like from your thread to your, literally the needle that you're using. I mean, the weather outside, I'm just kidding. The weather will not affect your sewing, but it seems like that. So we just had to, you know what? I'll give the biggest tip out there. Make sure you clean your sewing machines like periodically. Like it's just like your markers, just like you got to clean them to keep them shooting right, like so like you got to do the same thing with your sewing machine. Wear and tear happens, replace your parts. Like it's the same thing. You got to replace your parts if things aren't working right, and you got to clean it. And I feel like that's one of the things that a lot of people are like, oh my God, how often do you clean your sewing machine? Dude, it's often. It's really often.
Yeah.
Because like it will mess up on us.
Definitely.
So that's my best. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Not known fact about me, but my mom actually has had her own sewing, embroidery, and a heat press business since 2006. So I'm definitely all too familiar with all of those machines and all of like the woes and the trials and all that. And I think she didn't get into like the heat pressing stuff until I don't know, maybe like 15 years ago. So a couple years after she started the business. But did you also like, I know you do the iron-ons, like y'all did with the joust headbands.
Yeah.
We did that in like 2012, like when we moved to Kingsville for college. That was another like side hustle. I was working as a mechanic, and this guy had for sale like a legit, not a like this is before Cricut and all that kind of stuff, like a legit plotter, vinyl cutter and software and stuff. And I was already painting. I was doing car wraps.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was real into well, I'm a mechanic, and we were racing and stuff like that, and we have the racetrack here. So so I did everything to my car, all the modifications, the nitrous kit, all the the differential gears, everything. I got really into drag racing, and then I got into I did my own decals. I even did car wraps, and I did that myself too. So I was doing vinyl for a while, and that turned into doing like shirts, and stuff like that too, which is a freaking nightmare. Doing vinyl shirts, and like I mean, even like this, like we had to do some last minute shirts and stuff like so we did that. But I did that for a while on the side, and then until we moved to Houston. But it turned from like a side business to more like something that we have that we can do for ourselves. And like we have something going on. Oh yeah, make a shirt, for Brandon or somebody. So but yeah, and obviously back I don't know if I ever had a legit PB fashion band, and I know I had some friends that did, but we definitely had those old HK Army vinyl headbands. So I was never afraid to implement vinyl into the headbands because I knew, like PB Fashion, HK Army had been doing it for so long, and I know no one had really, I hadn't seen, at least I'd never seen any. So that was another like, why not? Let's just go for it. So yeah, I like my vinyl headbands. I like, obviously these freaking hand embroidered ones. They're super nice too. But yeah.
No, I know a lot of what that's like. And my wife is being a dear, and she's helping me get something for show and tell here. So one of the first, well, actually, before we do that, this is kind of what I was talking about for anybody who hasn't seen the headbands. This is one that I was gifted by y'all personally, the In the Pits edition Texas camo headband, and on the other side we've got the podcast logo, and this is what it's what I wear into
Very
battle
small.
every Sunday at NXL.
Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
weeding is a pain.
I bet
it is a pain.
Yeah. And so this right here is a jersey that I actually made myself. This was, and unfortunately the 35 in the middle has fallen off over the years, but this was the original I-35 All-Stars jersey, which was a precursor to the Texas Titans.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
So yeah,
I've definitely had to make some last minute jerseys. I don't know if you remember Animal Paintball. It might have been before your time.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, which I found out later on, like we've been using them for so long. I think they were like based out of like Laredo or something like that, and I didn't realize until later on because they actually made jerseys for a lot of people, and then we used Raza towards the end, which they hand delivered our jerseys at the PSP Dallas event, which was real cool. I got to work with them and stuff like that, and be the contact with them. So it was pretty cool. Talking to the main people, getting those done.
Yeah,
But,
for sure. And
so,
something that I've learned more and more, like especially as I've been working for Project this past year, is like you think of these other people within the paintball industry as like being the big dogs, but then like you get to know a little bit more about what it takes to run that operation, and it's really like all it is just people who weren't afraid to talk to other people and like take a little bit of a risk and like kind of go after, like look into, hey, what is it going to take to make this thing that I want, and then doing it. That's all it was.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, we had which I didn't know. Like, I think they were cool with it, or now they're cool with it. At the time, I think Hormesis was selling their NDTs, yeah, and like with the NDT, it said on there that you can get like up to 10 products made with the NDT like design.
Mhm.
And someone kind of like was trying to find a loophole. Was like, "Oh yeah, I need 10 headbands." I'm like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Let's hold on there." I was like, "We could definitely do it. I just I don't feel 100% right doing it without knowing I have like, you know." And honestly, I just don't know at the time. Well, nowadays I think there's a lot of like collabs and stuff like that where
Mhm.
Hormesis is making sandanas, they're doing each other's headbands and stuff like that, and it's working out cool. And so I reached out to Alex, because like I said, I've been tuned in on every like spick and span as well, and I'll send stuff to Ryan. I sent them one of our like first headbands with vinyl, and made a spick and span show headband. It's like,
That's the original.
yeah, we didn't even have tags. Like it was just like denim on denim that we had, like super thick. But I reached out to Alex and was like, "Hey, this is what's going on. I just feel kind of like weird about it. I want to know what's going on." He goes, "Yeah, that's a kind of weird one." I was like, "Say no more, dude. Like, I don't want to get into it. Like, I'm just gonna tell him we can't do it and just respectfully decline." And I don't know if you ever made anything of it, but just wanted to set up that relationship too. And it was funny because also play the game, was also involved with the PTG podcast, and I'll try to throw in a raffle band every time they're doing like their members only or whatever, something like that, they're super members. And so at one point I was telling my buddy Hector, I was like, "Dude, I have a chat with Marcelo. I have a chat with Tyler Harmon. I just talked to freaking Alex Fragi, and I just told Ryan Greenspan like that I just got his package and all that stuff." I was like, "Dude, in the same week." And I was like, "You told me this back in 2009, or like when we were first playing, it would be like, dude, this is freaking crazy. Like, it's so cool. Like, you get to talk to like your heroes." And I was telling my brother that because like he's a big sports guy, and I was like, it's cool with paintball is that like I've literally spoken to like the top dudes in the game, like the goats and stuff, and had conversations with them because of what we ventured into, and it's been so cool, man.
Mhm. Yeah, it's cool how like connected that you can get and how down to earth those guys are whenever you get
Yeah.
the chance to talk to them. Like I remember just kind of putting myself out there and talking to guys. Like through all the stuff that I've been doing and just putting myself out there and having conversations. Like I've obviously now I work with Ryan and Archie.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to sit like sometimes just like in the background while doing some other work or inventorying or whatever, they'll be on conversations with like
Yeah.
other paintball companies that they're doing collabs with, or they're talking with Nick Laval, who's doing the designs with a lot of their stuff. Or
That's so
like back when last year when I was doing practice footage for them, I'd be like, riding in the car with Colt Roberts, Jesse Stevens, and Cody Bayless on the way to like go film
yeah,
pro
man.
scrimmage over in Houston. Yeah, and then like even a couple weeks ago when Revo was scrimmaging X Factor, I had Devin Stewart message me. He's like, "Hey, you live in Austin. Well, Clint Moore is his flight leaves out of Austin, and he needs to, he's looking to not pay $200 for an Uber to get back to Austin from San Antonio. Can you give him a ride back?" So I got to,
Oh man,
chill with Clint Moore, 20-year professional from the UK for an
that's
hour.
awesome.
So
That's so cool. Yeah, Colt. When I was playing with Brandon and them, we went back to like clutch, and we had a clutch camp, and it was right after Brandon had like made the roster, and then they basically had told him like we need to start playing D1, get him like up to start getting him some reps and stuff like that. So we had all just made the jump basically, and we were set to play World Cup 2013. I think like we're raising money to go. So we were going to San Antonio. We were going to X Factor like every other weekend. Like it was crazy, and we were going as a team. Like, and I mean, I know like demo they do it still, but at the time, yeah. And what was cool is that like Colt, Grayson Goff, Alex Martinez, they were there doing the points with us. And this is back when we had the center A. And for some reason, man, you put me in like a easy to stay alive in bunker, I get shot immediately. You put me in a small cake in the back center. Somehow I'm making it, or I was going down center, the center A. That was my spot too. And Cole Roberts taught me a very good lesson on tunnel vision at the center A. I was locking down Dorito side and didn't keep my head on a swivel, and he just painted my back like so hard. He's like, "Are you out?" I wasn't calling myself out. I was still trying to breathe. And he's like, "Dude, you can't lock yourself in like that." And so those guys, I mean, yeah, that was that next level of playing. That stuff that we learned out there, man. It was insane. And they were so nice to us. They took us in and helped us out so much, man. It was so cool to be on the field with those guys. It
yeah,
really
for
was.
sure. Definitely. So this next question is for you, Brandon, and it's brought to us by Colt Roberts, Paintball Kumite. So you were both doing BEM Wraps in April, which was several months before Meagan stepped out onto the field for the first time. So what was it like trying to convince her to try out playing?
Well, we've always talked about that, and just never found the right time because I guess I was every practice, or when I was playing, it was like a practice, and I allowed myself that much time.
Mhm.
And then when we moved to Houston, I hadn't thought of paintballing for so long. I was going to aircraft mechanics school at night, and I saw a dude was wearing like an Empire hat or something like that. It had different sponsors on it. I was like, "Dude, do you play paintball?" And he goes, "No, I play airsoft. I do milsim stuff." And became one of like my best friends in school because like dude, we were going to night school like every day. And he was just telling me how much cheaper it is and stuff like that. And there's an indoor place in Houston that's a lot of fun. Like if you like speedball, it's kind of cool. So I got her to go to do one of those indoor airsoft, and it was funny because like the game started and like paintball Brandon like snapped, and I was just going, and I started going and playing, and it was like 10 minutes later I was like, "Oh shit, man!" I just left her like back there, like, and then I see her running like choom choom choom, she's just like having the freaking time of her life, dude, like just running around and just going crazy, and I was like, "Okay, no, she's having a lot of fun." So we got to do a couple outdoor games, which are it's in its own thing. Like I'm not gonna say one's better than the other. Well, I mean, of course, I love paintball more, and that's to me is a lot more fun. I'll never, I'll die on that hill. But for the time, for what we were where we were in our lives and stuff like that, for what was available, and it was a lot of fun. And so maybe got to play a couple games with that, and then when I was playing with Adrenaline, we had a couple girls on that team, and one was a mom too. And I was like, you gotta come out, like just come to one of the games, or just come out on Sundays and stuff like that, and let's just go. And so I got her a mini GS, um, and but she still has her Proflex, and obviously I have an extra tank, I have an extra hopper, I always got all an extra setup for somebody. but
just no babysitter.
just no babysitter, so it's a little tough. So yeah, because for a while we were going to the field just to drop off headbands, and it's just double stroller.
All the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, but but yeah, no, I mean, she stood a good like what 30 yards away. I gave her one good shot.
I wanted him to shoot me because I wanted to know how it felt.
I told her, I was like, this is gonna hurt more than any game. I can shoot you point blank in with the adrenaline of the game, and it'll be a lot different than you waiting for it. Like it's just different. Like I can't explain it.
We went into that little field and we did a one-on-one.
At Delta, yeah, Delta's got their speedball field, but they also have a lot of like side fields or small fields. They're really cool. They have like a Halo, a CQB field, and all that stuff. So when you're not playing there, you can just jump on, have some fun.
Well, he still couldn't shoot me, so I ended up just standing in the middle of the field so he could shoot me.
Yeah, it was a very hot day, so the paint wasn't flying very well.
No, it hurt a lot.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't break, so it wasn't very fresh paint. So yeah, she got a good first shot.
It was okay.
So how was that first experience playing, Megan?
It's fun. I think that like airsoft and paintball are pretty different, even though they're people might see them the same, but they're very different. And so I don't know. It's okay. You know what? I think it's just because it's more when we do paintball, it's more speedball. But when we were doing airsoft, it was more like scenario.
Yeah, big game stuff.
Yeah, big game stuff. So I don't know. It's kind of more like a game. It's more like a sport. Speedball's more like a sport. It's kind of like you're testing your endurance, your speed. You're like, yeah, and also like you just gotta like I don't know. You gotta throw yourself out there. Like if it's shoot or be shot. So like you gotta be the one shooting. You can't be just like hiding. Like your best bet is just to run, like and just like shoot and try to hit somebody, and then just go from there. Just try not to die.
Yeah,
it was fun. It's fun. It's always fun.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed your first time. I know so many people that like they'll play once and they hate it and then they never want to go back, and it's just like
we just don't have the time. That's what I said.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Brandon to pick up his gun so we can start going all together.
Oh my god, so many years.
Yeah.
Hey, it'll happen faster than you think.
Yeah,
I know.
So yeah, this next question is brought to us by TexanHemp.com, which is Jared Sherman's business of Austin Notorious. So what has the public reception been since you started producing headwear?
I can't say we've ever had any like, I'll knock on wood, and I'm not, I'm not saying it won't happen. Like we haven't had any like negative reviews or any kind of, issues with anything. It's been pretty receptive. I have a pretty good relationship with a lot of other creators. Shout out to the Headwear Collective. It's on Facebook. Mike Waterman started that little group, and it's basically like a creator show off, and all the creators are on there, and we get to talk amongst ourselves and stuff. And Chris from Christian's Customs made the Drunken Tailor podcast, where we basically drink and make headbands at night and get drunk on camera. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, there's some of those guys, like you said, it's been a couple of years already that we've been doing it, and a lot of guys that are just coming in. And I know a lot of people ask, it's like, what do you think about that? And it's like, honestly, like I said, we still have our whole, like our lane that I feel is still maybe not a one-to-one with anybody. And we try to stick with it. And I guess, I mean, we make our build videos, so like we're not going to gatekeep, on someone that's coming that wants to start and stuff like that. I mean, obviously you don't want to be like, show me your homework, you know what I mean? More like I get to discuss things with other creators that have been doing it, and that's one thing. But I mean, yeah, you really dissected our videos. There's so many of them that you can see exactly how we make our headbands. But because yeah, I mean, I don't, we don't want to gatekeep or anything like that. I don't really see it as a problem or anything like that. Everyone wants to put their voice out there, and there's a lot of different people in different, corners of the woods that can be represented. So welcome all of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's an art form, really, and aside from the business and financial aspect of it like putting your own creation out there and everybody out there being able to go out there with their own signature look, essentially, is what it is. And it's cool that you are one of many out there that are offering that opportunity to players.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
So, Megan, this next question's for you. So you recently started offering freehand embroidered designs. So what about that process do you enjoy compared to the other bands that you do?
It's kind of like it's broadened a lot of things that like people have asked us for in the past, and we've kind of had to turn down because like it's kind of too hard or too like not natural to do vinyl on everything.
Mhm.
And so just being able to like do the thread aspect of it is it's fun. I feel like, now we don't have to turn everybody down all the time. Like sometimes people will ask us for logos and stuff like that, and it's like, ooh, like I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that with vinyl. It's gonna be too many colors or too little, and like uh bringing in that embroidery factor is giving it's like broadened our like ability to do stuff. And also like getting stuff embroidered is super expensive. Like if you go to an embroidery company and you ask for like, oh, like can you do this for me on this headband, and like and people have done it before, and that's totally cool, but we're always trying to find ways to make the headband more affordable. And doing the hand stitch thing, it's one, I'm doing it because I like it and it's fun, and it's like kind of a skill that like I kind of feel like a little surgeon, like
Mhm.
I'm able to like be precise and like make mistakes and fix things, and always you can always start over. But the embroidery thing, it's really helped us to not have to like just turn people down, and like also like just trying new things. We're always trying to find something that's like the next big like thing, or like something that like, oh, like on the Headwear Collective, I know like we're always like putting videos up and like bus sewing, and like I like that we've already seen like, oh, I want to try that. Like good, do what's good for your health. Like it's like do the embroidery. Like I swear, I promise you it's hard, but like if you do it, you'll be so proud of yourself. Like so I'm always an advocate for people to just like, I don't care if somebody makes the exact same headband as us. I don't care if you sell it for more money. I don't care. Are you happy? Are you alive and well and healthy? Like I'm happy for you in that aspect. And the embroidery thing is something that I feel like we started doing it, and I feel like more companies will probably start doing it. I know some people put like embroidery on the tails already. Yeah. Some companies. But it's something that like something big and upfront, like I'm here, this is me, like we made the Totoro band, and the Totoro was like, I'm right here in your face, like I'm super cute and happy, and I'm Totoro.
Yeah.
And like I'm right here, look at me. Like so like I feel like, I don't know,
That's why I think it's really funny that like if anyone ever makes that argument that like, oh, you just copy this, I was like, she doesn't know. It's like it's like she really doesn't. I was like, there's not like really any idea. It's been like the tie dye stuff, the bleach wash on blue denim. Tell you where, that we kind of started doing, and like I said, I mean, we have done too many. We'll definitely do some like by request, tie dye stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's all out there, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's just like I said, I was like, it's just literally like something that we're just like, oh, we should just definitely try it, because we've been talking about doing tie dye projects with the kids. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it'd be really fun to have them like make some T-shirts. You know what I mean? And then we're like, well, we have all this fabric. Like, let's just do it.
everything has been a happy accident. It's like we should try this, and then it just ends up working or being cool. So
Yeah, it's
but yeah, embroidery is something really cool. So
definitely. About how long would you say like each piece takes you?
Okay, so I think that just depends, but I've been getting better. You know what? I feel like I can probably not, if it's a good, like a moderate, not too technical piece, it can take me like up to like, I don't know, 10 minutes. Like I think it took me like five to 10 minutes.
That one didn't
to
take
do
long at
this.
all.
Mhm.
The one right before that was
The Eagles?
oh yeah, the
The
Eagles.
Eagles took a while
Oh,
because they're like a little bit more technical, so they took me more like 20 minutes, like 25 minutes. But it's something that's like you have to take your time with it, because if you don't respect that you have to take your time with it, then it's gonna look a little poopy. So,
Mhm.
and nobody likes a poopy product. So we have to kind of like, you have to, like I said, give the respect to the technique, and then, you know, just go from there. It's yeah, it does. It takes a while. Let's see. I would say it's still worth it though. Like, it's still definitely worth the work because of the product that comes out. That's what's nice. Because I will say, once the headband is done and complete and we like tag it, I look at it and I'm just like, oh, that was worth it. Like those extra minutes of time were worth it. Yeah, it's always worth it.
Yeah, it's
I guess,
cool. It's been cool to see the like the more recent stuff, like the Naruto series and the Totoro. I thought was really well done. So I'm
yeah, that little guy. We need to make another one of those. I keep on telling Brandon that we need to like make an extra headband of everything, and then just keep like a
vault. Yeah.
yes, like a vault, something that we can be proud of and be like, we like, this is something that like we've done, but like all we have is pictures. But that's also okay, because you know what, people post them and put them up on Instagram, like, oh, I'm wearing your headband today, or like whatever.
Yeah.
And so
It's like
that's
like our pieces are truly rare because there is only one.
yeah, no, yeah.
We just don't advertise it.
But yeah, so it is fun. Yeah, I know the Totoro band. I don't know. That's been my favorite band.
Favorite design?
My favorite design, yeah.
I think that Rose came out so cool.
The Rose was pretty. Totoro is more of a character thing, though. I like that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's and that question has been asked here in the chat a couple of times, and it's been it's one that I have on the script, so I guess we'll skip to it right now. So this one's brought to us by Hydra. So what were each of y'all's favorite designs that y'all have produced?
Let's see. I think my favorite, like favorite headband or favorite free embroidery design.
Just I guess let's go with favorite headband. So favorite finished product.
Finished product, I think, for me, has been that like first headband, that bleach wash denim one, because back in the day when my mother-in-law was sewing, there's a Dickies plant nearby here, or there was. So there was a Dickies plant, and they were saying like every other month they would just come out the front doors and give people fabric. So like this is like from the 80s or 90s, I believe, something like that. So that's 90s vintage like Dickies denim that we had, and that was one of like the first test pieces, the first top stitch thing I think that we ever did. So the shape's all off. It's kind of, but it's off in its own way. I love it so much. So there's that, and I don't know. I think as far as that, like personally, like for me, but I think one of my favorite things that we put out there, I think, has to be like either the Stargazer. Oh yeah, it was one of our first ones. It's a black denim that we bleach washed, and it was the only time we bleach washed black and it came out like white
instead of yellow.
Yeah, because like if you bleach something like black, it just is like a off white color, red color. So there's a few bands out there that's like and it's one of our first like reels. It's a true like black and white like star pattern, just splatter headband that looks so cool.
Yep, and I've got a picture of it right here. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick on this stream. Let me switch there we go. Yep, so I got it right here, the Galaxy band.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is. So this is what we're talking about right here. Yeah, that's it's definitely a cool one. So Megan, what do you think the Totoro one's been your favorite, or?
So that's been the funnest embroidery, but I think my favorite headband that we've made so far has been our hard. No, that's not the hardest one, but it's been one of the hardest, which is
Dude, we've done some crazy work.
Dang it, Brandon, the Stranger Things.
Oh my gosh.
Hellfire Club.
Yeah, the Hellfire band, man. We made so many of those.
We just finished the watching the season, and I was like,
let's do it.
We have to.
Dude, yeah,
and
it's like
we had that denim, and I was like, for his jacket, I was like, his denim jacket, and then the white.
Black
or black.
So, yeah, his shirt, the black and white shirt.
I was like, that's perfect.
So it's white bull denim with black bull denim tails on a blue jean inside, and vinyl that was a pain to cut.
Whoever has those
But
headbands,
those are, and we sold those for like $30 or something.
yeah,
It was like
those were like
crazy.
those were great.
Yeah.
Like, that was fun. Like
it's one thing to make a one-piece headband because it's literally like
just
a 6-inch tall by like 46-inch rectangle. But if you have to make a 3-piece headband, well, in that case, a 4-piece headband, and now you're just like you gotta do geometry and you gotta put things and see how it's gonna come out before you like finish the product. So like we did a Philippines band, a Philippines flag, which like it had a white triangle of denim with like blue and red denim striped like tails,
with the yellow star.
and that was like so much cutting and shaping and all that
The
stuff.
piecing is really hard.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. And so like those are stuff that we're just like proud of, that was really cool.
I think that's like what I like the most. Like there's a difference of like what headbands I'm most proud of.
Yeah.
Because like of the quality and like the product that came out. Like yeah.
Yeah.
Hellfire Club has been my favorite though, because that's just a cool band.
Yeah, no, that definitely has to be. I forgot about that one completely.
Yeah, definitely. And I've been putting pictures up as y'all have been talking about them.
Oh, cool.
So hopefully anybody who's watching the video portion of this, if you're listening to the audio only, go check out the YouTube. And yeah, there's some pretty sick bands on here. Sure. Nice. So this next question, and actually before we get to the next question, just another reminder that at the end of the episode, we are going to be raffling off a Texas Camo band. So in order to enter, you got to get a comment in the live chat here. Also leave a like on the show, and we will raffle it off at the end of the episode. This is my own personal Texas Camo band. In case you want to see what it looks like.
I love the wear. I love it when headbands wear, man. I love it.
Yeah, mine's.
People asked me, like, I washed it and it did this. I was like, yes, that's what you want. You want to see that, that washed look after a while. I mean, at least the ones that you use. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this one's done me well so far. So.
Nice. That's great.
So yeah, if you want to enter, get a comment in the chat. Make sure you like the stream, and we will get to that at the end. So this next question is just for Brandon. This one's brought to us by 71 Designs. So have you been able to take the field lately, or what is it that drives you to stay involved in the paintball community?
Let's see. I think I took the field back in the summer of last year.
Yeah, before we had the baby.
Yeah, before we had the baby. I think the last event was in Houston. Like
running paintball tournaments.
Yeah, dude. That was another thing. I was not necessarily taking the field. I took the approach, to bring tournaments to the valley because there's no tournaments down here, and guys like me that can't play in tournaments, travel that much, will still want that experience and stuff. And I see that there's a lot of new teams coming up, and there's a lot of the teams that are making that next level that still need that practice, that can't go to X Factor all the time. So I was like, how do I, bring something to the guys down here that's for everybody? So I mean, I definitely implemented the draft style from those tournaments up there that fit, that those guys do, the XTPL and stuff like that, and it was great because we have demo balls out, and guys don't want to, they don't want to enter a tournament where these guys are playing and they can't play against them. So we did a draft where I think we did 1-on-1s, we did 2v2s, we did 3v3s, and we'll try to keep it that small because of how hard it is to get refs and stuff. But I truly, truly, truly wish that I could continue doing that. Right now, I am working Sundays. It's like the cardinal sin right now. But for right now, yeah, I'm working Sundays. Like I said, last year we got pregnant, and we wanted to see through and make sure everyone was healthy with that pregnancy. So we got through that one. Thankfully, thank God, everything came out good. So that took a little break from there too, but I definitely have my gear ready to go. I built another axe. Just wanted to get back out there, but in due time, of course. But I definitely want to find a way to try to get the events going again down here. I'd love to do it.
Yeah, I remember all the posts whenever you were running all of that with all the different 3-man events, and I remember seeing a few people head down to the valley for those events. So
Yeah, it was getting some traction there. I mean, and it wasn't for any kind of like, you know, raising any money. I really just did it to where I could pay the refs, you know, that I'm going to, or I literally put it. First prize was always like a cash prize, and I bought rings, I bought medals, and I made some golden headbands, and everyone gets to grab, you know, first, second, third. Everyone would always get to grab like, you know, bucket hats or headbands, stuff like that. So, um, definitely put as much back into it as I could, which in that itself, you know, is tough, but it was rewarding seeing the events happen and stuff. So I really hope I can get back to finding something. We can work something out, maybe do them on Saturdays or something, but we'll see.
Yeah, it would be cool to see that going. So yeah, this next question is for either of y'all. Is there anything new or special on the horizon that you can give us a sneak peek at?
Ooh.
We have this.
Well, yeah. More freehand embroidery for sure. We're trying to get more into like, we never really were like the type to do like drops, you know what I mean? Like, be on the lookout for this drop. But it is exciting to know that like Megan wanted to work on like multiple Zelda bands, so be on the lookout for some Zelda themed ones coming up. I always used back in the day sweatbands when I would play. I always use sweatbands, so that was one thing I was like, I think we could freehand embroider on sweatbands, so that might be something we might try too as well. It's all experimental stuff, like we're just gonna try to see how it goes and stuff. But yeah, I think for us, really just getting back to the swing of things, we would love to be able to do it more consistently, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, well, be on the lookout for all of those here, hopefully in the near future. That'd be awesome to see. Let's see. Oh, Bobby W is in the chat. He says, "I'm late, but BEM is amazing. Just got my Warhammer custom band in and can't wait for this weekend."
Ooh, oh yeah, of course, man. He's a long time. You know, he's bought multiple bands from us, so it's always an honor to.
We send stuff. We send stuff in bags. Like if you've been buying stuff from us, we will. If we haven't sold like some headbands, or if we just have some extra stuff, we will put it in your bag.
Yeah, we might be sneaking some extra bands here and there, so
Yeah.
be on the lookout for that kind of stuff.
If it's not candy.
Yeah, the candy was always. We need to get back on the dum dums. We always would throw dum dums in each package, and Mexican candy too.
And then Halloween happened, and our candy stash got.
So, but yeah.
Love it. So for anyone out there who's interested in checking out your stuff or maybe even ordering their own custom band, how do they do that?
So our Instagram is where I post first our videos, you know, our builds and stuff like that. I'm trying to be a little bit more productive on our Facebook page. So, but you can definitely reach out to my personal Facebook or our Facebook page, BEM Wraps, our Instagram, BEM Wraps, to message us, see where we're at on things. I know we've been trying to get back into the swing of things. So like if we have on the horizon, like, you know, we want to do some freehand embroidery, we're going to probably try to allocate time for that. So I've been upfront with like custom orders recently, like, hey, it might be a little bit more time, but you never know. We might be able to find a day where we can just squeeze it in. So communication is just the best thing. Right now we don't have a website. That is something maybe in the near future I would like to maybe look into more. But since we have been doing so much custom work, that messenger communication was so important, because I wanted to make it exactly like what you were envisioning. So like I would send you pictures as we were building, you know, your ideas, you know. So I was like, hey, does this look good? Does this placement look good? You know, and they tell us, you know, hey, go crazy, go be creative. I want to see what y'all would do with this idea. So yeah, Messenger, Instagram, and Facebook for now. Trying to post more TikToks. I haven't been on TikTok. Well, we never really got into it, but I've been told to try to reach out there too. So we're slowly but surely, you know, putting the content out there.
I mean, I'm sure you can be forgiven for the TikTok absence. definitely not my thing either. I'm not on TikTok at all. I don't think I ever will be.
No. Yeah, we just I think it was because we have those reels, the shorts and stuff like that, I guess, where I could see it. Maybe gaining some traction, but really I like to put them out there to just kind of have like conversation starter pieces, you know what I mean? Like if I could spend the whole day replying to the comments on the reels of people that don't understand the game, I would. And I have to like, I'll write out a paragraph of stuff, and I'm just like, no, not today, not today, not today. I'm not gonna do this. So I'll sit here and be like, dude, it's not anything like you think it is, man. You just got to get out there and try it. So, but yeah.
All right. So, yeah, we're getting towards the end of the show. We're not quite done yet, but we'll give everybody one last chance to, if you're wanting to enter the raffle for this episode, get your own Texas Camo Band. Be sure to leave a comment in the chat. Make sure to like the stream, and we will get to that here in just a little bit. So this next question is one that I'm sure you're very familiar with because I've asked it to every single person that's come on the show. It's brought to us by Get That Shot. Message him on Facebook or Instagram if you're needing media coverage at the upcoming NXL Mid-Atlantic Major in Atlantic City. He's also offering drone footage for this one. So yeah, hit up Carlos at GetDat_shot. So is there anybody in Texas, could be teams, players, brands, or projects that have maybe flown under the radar or otherwise underrated or underappreciated? Who do you think deserves more recognition for what they're doing?
I definitely have two that come to mind. We do have a friend / teammate, Nathan. He's the Paintball Athletics on. He's on YouTube. He's on Instagram, but his TikTok is there and does really well. And I don't know if you remember like the Matty Boy content, kind of stuff. But what I like about him is that he's breaking down, like he has first FPV footage, but he'll talk about why he's doing this, why is he slide canceling, why is he doing this, and he's such an athlete, so he shows like his workouts that he does at home, that are paintball related, and just his experiences at like Bunker Fest and stuff like that. So his channel's awesome. Another one, Mr. Zach with We Are Humans. He came to me to talk about it, and something that he wanted to do, and it's really like a positive movement kind of thing / paintball team. So he has an Instagram where he spreads positivity, just kind of like just positive mental health stuff, which I think is really, really cool for especially like his age group, and a little bit younger than us. So it's really cool to show that kind of content, some positivity, and also they got their D4 and D5 line that they're going to start getting new people in and playing and stuff. So yeah, We Are Humans for sure, and Paintball Athletics.
All right, love it. So yeah, go check them out. So let me see here in the chat. We got another newcomer from Z Baleza. It says BEM with the best bands.
That's Mr. Zach right there from We Are Humans.
Love it. Perfect timing. All right, so we're getting towards the end of the show. So before we do this raffle, this final question's brought to us by Compete, which is Gel Stewart's brand. Message him on Facebook or Instagram. Mention In the Pits for 10% off of your order of soft goods. So thank you both for your time. Do either of you have any last shout outs or things you'd like to say before we sign off?
I'll shout out Carlos for Get That Shot. I know he's
one of our first orders.
Yeah, one of our first orders. He rocks our
legit orders.
He rocks our stuff on the pro field. Dan Shelley too, Shelda. He's done business with us too. A really cool guy. Most recently too, Lasro from Ostanoni.
Oh yeah, he runs pretty cool, man.
Super cool dude, man. So yeah, shout out those guys.
Oh yeah, shout out to man, that's a lot of very familiar names. It's kind of cool, like the circles that we're creating online. Everybody that's becoming more and more involved online. Looks like we got another one in the chat here from Liliana Ortega. BEM Wraps are the best.
That's Brandon's mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Love it.
Say, look, Mom, I'm on TV.
Yeah, you're here right before we get to the 2-year show.
So cool.
Yeah, that's crazy that the community that has been able to be built through the podcast and all the amazing individuals that I've gotten to talk to you.
So good.
All right. So I think that just about does it. We're getting here to our raffle. I'm going to throw that up on the screen here. So we've got, let's see, how many names do we got? Here, let me switch the scene over. All right. So on this, we've got Steven, Rick, Hector, Randy, Jaybird, Leo, Bobby W, Z Beleza, and Liliana Ortega here on the wheel. Entered to win. So we're gonna spin it one time. Whoever it lands on first is gonna be the winner of the Texas Camo Band. And here we go. All right, so it looks like Jaybird, you are the winner of the Texas Camo Band. Let's go, Jaybird. Congratulations. Jaybird, if you could please DM me on Instagram or on Facebook. Just send me your info, and I will make sure that we get that sent out to you.
Perfect.
All right, so let's do that. All right, so that... I think that just about does it for our show. Brandon, Meagan, thank you both so much for coming on the show. Thank you for being a longtime supporter of the podcast. I think y'all were like one of the very first Patreon supporters that I got when I started doing that. And it's it's been great to have you, get to know you, and like really see y'all's growth within the community. So yeah, I know it's not easy, especially, with the 3 little ones that y'all have running around.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having us, man. It's been awesome.
Mm-hmm. Very sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been my pleasure. So I think that does it for our show. Everybody online, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to go follow Brandon and Meagan at BEM Wraps on Instagram. You can go follow them on Facebook as well. So what other guests would you all like to see on the show? Be sure to leave a comment down below. While you're at it, hit that subscribe button. The show goes live weekly here on youtube.com/@inthepitspaintballpodcast, and recordings are posted to YouTube, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify the next day. Shout out to my partner and sponsor tier subscribers on Patreon, FU Athletics, Get Dat Shot, Paintball Kumite, Compete, BEM Wraps, Hydra, XTPL Events, Mariachi Aguilas de Oro, Podrunners Union, 71 Designs, TexanHemp.com, and QBRofficial.com. So we will see you guys next week for episode 103, which will be our final episode before our big 2-year celebration. Can't wait. It's going to be a blast. All right. So, Brandon, Meagan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. We'll see you.